Alright, in this video I'm going to be talking about my top 10 PlayStation 3 games. Now, this is a very interesting era in that I had the PS3 and the Xbox 360, but I actually preferred the 360. I just liked, I don't know, the interface more, the controller, and the achievements. It was just a very arbitrary thing, but I actually played way more games on 360. So, a lot of games that are on both consoles, because now we're entering the era where, like, there's a lot of overlap between a lot of different consoles share the same game. I think this list only has PlayStation 3 exclusives on it as a result. I'm going to be doing a 360 video later to just talk about some of those. But anyway, if you're wondering, well, isn't this on PS3? I might have played it on 360 instead. Number 10 is Yakuza 3. Now, this is where it gets a little shaky because I actually played the remastered version, which is on PS4. So already people are going to maybe cry foul on this. But I will say it feels like a PS3 game for sure. With that said, the remastered version added a lot of stuff that wasn't in the original. But let's just kind of talk about the game in general. Out of all the Yakuza games I've played, which I've played up through 4, this one is pretty rough around the edges. I don't think the gameplay has aged super well. I think the combat is kind of frustrating. And the mini games are also a bit janky. It's really kind of unfair to it because I'm used to like the polish of like Zero and Kiwami 2 and stuff like that. So I was expecting like a big, not decrease in quality, but you know, a lack of frills. And even then I hear this one is pretty divisive, I think, in the fandom. But it's not without its charm. I think the locale, the sort of Okinawa locale is my favorite part of it. The orphanage stuff I really enjoyed. So there's a lot to like about it too. Like, I intend to play all the Yakuza / Like a Dragon games. And this one it's charming. And there's some fun stuff in the story, for sure. But definitely pretty rough. Still like it though. Number 9 is God of War 3. It's been a long time since I've played this, but I remember enjoying this. I remember it feeling very, because I won't spoil God of War 2 even though it's an old game. The way God of War 2 ends, it's a very like, oh shit, what's gonna happen? And 3 feels very over the top, like this is the payoff, and it's a lot of these bombastic fights. I think 3 had those lion gauntlets I like really loved. Did I like the ending? It was okay, but now it's kind of not the definitive ending now, as there are new God of War games that kind of continue the story in a different way, which I still haven't played, by the way, ironically. They're just on my playlist. I will say I still remember how excited I was for God of War 3 after how God of War 2 ended. And getting to play God of War on the PlayStation 3 felt like this huge leap. I mean, it was a huge leap from PS2, even though the PS2 game looked great for the time. Just more yelly Kratos. That era of Kratos was fun in his own very pissy way. Number 8 is Ratchet & Clank Future Tools of Destruction. I've loved the Ratchet & Clank games forever. I'm a bit behind on them. I haven't played some of the newer ones. Actually, anything past PS3 I have not played. Tools of Destruction was a lot of fun. Maybe a little more bare bones in comparison to some of the other Ratchet & Clanks from the PS2 era. But at the end of the day, it's still a Ratchet & Clank game, and Ratchet & Clank games are just fucking fun. Just shoot things, level up the weapons, fun humor and characters. However, there is another game in this franchise you'll see later on this list that I'll gush about even more. Number 7 is One Piece Pirate Warriors. I'm a big Muso fan, as I've talked about in previous videos. I love One Piece. This one was fun. It's the only Pirate Warriors game I've played, actually. I do want to play some of the other ones. I had a great time with it. I remember there were like these like coins you could like collect. I remember having a lot of fun with that. Still pretty fucking badass, like getting to play like, oh shit, I'm Jinbei in Marineford, you know, it was cool. I'm sure the new ones are just even more crazy, but I still have very fond memories of playing the first one. I'd like to play all of them, but I don't know if 2 is easily accessible. Maybe I should just jump to like, what's the newest one, 4? I don't know. But listen, I'll never say no to a Muso game, especially from a franchise I like. One Piece and Muso is just like peanut butter and chocolate. It was perfect for me. Number 6 is Yakuza 4. Now this one is really quite good. It's like 4 different characters, and you like play in different chunks as different characters, and then it kind of all converges at the end. They all play very differently in terms of combat style. The character Akiyama is just awesome. Whenever I finally ever play through all the Yakuza games, I would like to do a video just talking about my experience with all of them. But that won't be for a very, very, very long time. But yeah, 3 felt like really jank. 4, I was like, oh, this is good. Like, this is, you know, this is a good, solid Yakuza title. And a lot of it has to do with Akiyama. Definitely a big step up, and I'm looking forward to playing more. Because I feel like 3 was kind of like the rough patch. 4 was very good, and I'm excited to continue on my journey. 4 is the last one I've played in the franchise, so I gotta get back on it. Number 5 is Uncharted 3. Uncharted 1 is not on this list. It's good, but it's kind of repetitive for me. Like, at the time, I liked it, but the sequels just are a huge leap in terms of presentation and quality. I think at the time, I thought I liked 3 more, but there are moments in 2 that really stick with me now. 3, I think I really love that Sully is a big part of it. That's something I wish he had more of in 2. And the bad guy's pretty fun in 3 from what I remember. But I am remembering less segments from 3. There's some fun stuff with young Drake I remember too. Overall, I like the Nathan-Sully dynamic a lot. And I think that is my favorite part of 3. Even if maybe the set pieces aren't as memorable to me as 2. Which, speaking of, number 4 is Uncharted 2. 2 has just like the train stuff, the beginning, there's a part where like a building's falling and you jump out of it. Like, just really fucking cool segments. Yeah, I wish there was more Sully in it, but when I think Uncharted, looking back at that franchise, I think of 2. I still haven't played 4, which is not a PS3 game, but it's on my playlist. But 2 and 3 are fucking top notch. 1 is, it's good. It's good. It's very, you know, shoot, 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 jump, jump, jump. Whereas 2 and 3 kind of feel more cinematic, I think, and more memorable to me. Number 3 is Ratchet & Clank Future: A Crack in Time. This game fucking rules. I just remember this feeling like, oh shit, this is like one of the all-time great Ratchet games. Not only did it have like a pretty fun, interesting story, the Clank time stuff was really fun. Just these very interesting, I feel like every other Clank segment, I've always been like, okay. But these felt well-developed, interesting, like sort of like time manipulation puzzles. It felt great that both protagonists' segments felt really fun. That classic Ratchet run and gun with the fun Clank time stuff. Great. Number 2 is The Last of Us. I mean, everyone knows The Last of Us. It's cinematic, it's emotional, incredible acting, pretty fun gameplay too. Although, should it feel fun? Should it feel fun? It should feel, I don't know, more dark. I don't know. But regardless, the gameplay is fun. But I think what really makes this game stand out is the character writing, and the acting. I think that's why it's so beloved. That's why the show, you know, is doing gangbusters. It really raised the bar in terms of like, I mean, acting in games was already getting good at that point. And then I feel like Last of Us was like, oh, fuck. Okay, here we go. And that ending for that first game, I really like it. It's divisive, but I like it. I have not played part 2. I'd like to play it at some point, but that first game, just as an overall package, yeah. Some really heart-wrenching stuff, some just gut-punch stuff, some funny stuff too, but I remember a lot of distinct moments. It really resonated with me. And finally, number 1 is Valkyria Chronicles. This game fucking rules. I love the gameplay. It's real-time kind of turn-based, where you're running on the field. It's like a military RPG, where you move your units in real time and then they stop and then you can like shoot enemies, and it's so good. I think, you know, for that era it looks gorgeous too. The art style, I think the characters are great. The story is very interesting and like full of just, you know, nice character moments as well. Feels like a Fire Emblem game, but I actually care about what's going on. And I love Fire Emblem, but I don't really care about what's going on. I feel like what Valkyria Chronicles does a good job of, it's a story about a war, but I think the characters really shine through in it. and it's really more of a character-driven story for me. I have not played the sequels. I'd like to. I just haven't gotten around to it. I wish we had gotten 3. I think we only got, what, 2 and 4? At some point I'll play at least 4. I don't have 2. I forget if it was called S ranking or getting all the gold, you know, perfecting the levels. That was really fun too. Managing all your units and... so good. I have such fond memories of Valkyria Chronicles. Beautiful looking game in my opinion. That was the top 10 PS3 games on my list. I'm sure there are a ton of blind spots. Because again, I feel like I didn't prioritize the PS3 as much. So if you have any suggestions for PS3 games that you think I would dig that are not on this list, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I will see you in the next one. Peace.